Hello and welcome back to the left side of reality. This is your host as always, Snow the First. Last time, we spent a very long time training. This time, we're still gonna do some minor training, but I'm gonna do something just a little different first. What you see here in front of you is a new nugget that looks more or less like a normal nugget, except for me intentionally lowered the temperaments to 2. As for why I'm doing that, it's because the thing with our new abnormality is never going to get showed off unless we do. So we're going to hire this person. We're going to stick him in the last slot of extraction. And then we're going to begin management. Our new abnormality is this guy. He looks very odd. We literally just got him, so I don't know what's gonna be for the best. But we're gonna throw our new friend here at it. Oh, the standard suit is super weak to black. This may have been poorly thought out. I had not realized that it would be super weak to black like that. Even 2 temperaments is doing decent. See, the thing is, I didn't want to waste a perfectly good set of armor just for a dumb experiment. Oh, the boxes are rolling much better. Ah, that was barely, I guess the question is, do we want to bother to keep doing this over and over to hope for a good? Because it's literally not going to happen unless we have a we have a level 2 temperament, I think is what I saw. How much screen time do we want to dedicate to this? May as well start unlocking information to give work success chance then. I'm only doing this because, like I said, it is literally impossible to see this event otherwise. I actually brought something to talk about, but I'm gonna wait until we're finished with this dumbness. "14 again? Ah, come on. An inordinate amount of time is being dedicated to this dumbness. Is it? I just looked it up and it said 2. No, it's doing much better because we have an extra boost. Sometimes 4% is all that matters. Oh, and as soon as I open my mouth. Always the second you say something, it happens like this. Exactly that number. Always exactly that number. How does this keep happening? Unlock this right now, so why the hell not? Well, I guess the good news is that this is also telling us that, look. Do we even have anyone with three temperaments at this point? I think I saw it was 2 and not 3, but still. Noah does. But I don't want to throw away a green stem just for the sake of being dumb. You know what? We're gonna try it out as soon as we finish with our friend here, since I have a plan for this anyways. This has become a serious matter of intellectual pursuit. This is perhaps a silly way of spending time, but I decided to do this. We're seeing it through. How many is that? 20. You know what? Just for the sake of this experiment, where is... Noah's all the way in records. Well, while we're grinding away at this then, we're gonna make Noah do the long walk over to the other side. Just so that we have all the facts straight. The source I'm pulling from says below 3. So is it 3 or is it 3 and below? That's a very, very crucial distinction. Oh hey, you're back. We're trying to make someone's head explode. Oh my god, he managed to loot that. It is 3 or below. Okay, then that changes a few things. Then yes, what TV tropes is wrong. Alright, cool. In that case, because we unlocked everything, then Noah's probably going to do it. And then we can start the day proper. Is Noah healed yet? Because he actually almost died from regular work in that last one. Will this finally do what I want it to do? I lowered your temperaments specifically to try and pull this off. I'm already all flustered up. Bye. Bye. This is officially the dumbest way we've started the stream. Well, okay, Noah, you are being thrown to the wolves because the sacrificial lamb I hired specifically to do this is failing. You had one job. You literally had one job. Okay, confirmed. It does start at 3. They just completely explode. Once you know about this, it is a matter of being careful about it. Incidentally, the reason I wasn't worried about any of this is because my plan from the beginning was just a memory repository to basically undo everything. Since it's at the current day we're at anyways. Okay, but 3's the kill point. Oh right, that keeps research. So now we get to do a lot less of that. Nice. I didn't even think of that. Anyway, the most trouble I've ever seen this abnormality give someone is during the HOD core suppression, because HOD lowers your stats. Ekamek, my friend, my brother in Christ. How far ahead do you think I think? Okay, was there actually anything that needed to be changed? I wanted to train some people. Right, I wanted to get some people up on their fortitude with Porcupus. But now that I know for sure that 3's the limit, I gotta be super careful about who I send over there. The good news is that a lot of these people are... the good news is that a lot of these people are, God damn it. Well, at least we grinded on these. At least it was for abnormalities that we grinded on pretty non-stop. Noah, where are you? Well, that at least tells us that Noah cannot work with, Noah needs fortitude training before she can do that. Let's hear it for spare boxes. Anyway, anyone with temperaments 4 is gonna spend the day grinding on Anyone with temperaments 4 and above but weak fortitude is going to spend the day on Porcupus. Everyone else is going to train with something else. Okay, you're one person I can do that for. You too. Noah, you're going to attachment grind with the bird. And maybe do something else while you're in the area. Okay. Now that I'm not gonna be playing bad on purpose, what is the goal today? Honestly, the goal today is just gonna be to get to the end of the day and then stop. I don't feel the need to do anything fancier than that because A, we've now passed the memory repo, and B, after we get done with the next few days, we're gonna reset anyways, so a lot of the training's gonna get undone. Which isn't to say I'm not gonna do any training at all. I'm just gonna do enough to make sure no one, is too much of a hindrance for what we have coming up. Okay, you need to work on your temperament so that your head doesn't explode. Might work on your prudence while I'm at it. These guys need to work on their fortitude, but if I do that, London's gonna be left all alone. No, that might be fine. London's a pretty hardy individual. Anyone else? Any of the other newbies that could use a little bump up of some kind? I think it's mainly extraction and records that are super needing a boost. Who's here? Dia's here. Okay, you can also red grind, so I might just do that. Porcupus looks like he's getting all the attention today. Adam and Maxim have high in some things but low prudence, so you two I'm gonna send to the snow pool. As soon as I can get you two alone. There we go. And that's gonna be the routine. As soon as everyone's in place, we're gonna get the ball rolling, and we're gonna go until the day ends. So, this time, unlike the last time, I did specifically bring some pre-prepared topics. And the first such topic is going to be did I never max out Luminous Bracelet? How much do I need on that? 8 seconds. Then I'm gonna have Gabriella equip it for those 8 seconds and then return it. Why are you so much more trouble than you're worth? Cool. Maxed out, never have to touch it again. I think everyone's in place that I would want to train. Or what about the new record people? I would say they're actually good to keep doing what they were doing yesterday. Just gonna keep pushing the prudence. They can worry about their other stats later. Wait, where'd I send Evan? I need her to go back to her department because of reasons. I still need to get the stuff for Letitia, that's why. I suppose I could send one of these people down instead. They could also make like a handy aid for London in case she needs some backup down there. Okay, let's run. Operation Fortitude Maxine is go. Okay, so the pre-prepared topics. The first one I have ready, and probably the main one, is Limbus Company, Limbus Company's 9th anniversary, where they announced a variety of topics they felt would be of interest to the consumers. They did say from the very beginning that there wasn't going to be like a big announcement to it, which there wasn't, so can't say they lied there. But the things they did announce do have people talking. The first thing that was announced was some new Hey Show IDs. And unfortunately, people have begun to undergo a serious burnout of Hey Shows. While we have had different IDs to break it up every so often, it is not great that basically the vast majority of the seasonal IDs have all been from the same faction, and as some specific complaints have said, look largely the same and do largely similar things. There have been complaints that the Hey Show feel a bit uninteresting to play because of that. You know what? So we don't have a repeat of last time. Jose, down to records 2. I almost forgot about that, and it could have been bad. Okay, your thing is going to be working attachment and cubits. Now that being said, they did do something slightly better. Rooster Heathcliff is at least finally a usable burn ID for him. We're gonna see how it works out. But the idea that really got everyone's attention was Heisho Ram Don Quixote. Because the way they introduced Heisho Ram Don Quixote was just to have her literally rolling around onto the screen, and it's just, it's great, it's fantastic. Honestly, I feel like some of the burnout from the Heisho IDs could have been avoided if they didn't spam the same branch so fast. Like having 3 different rabbit ones in a row, people raise eyebrows at, and then having the next 2 be snake. Like if they kind of if they spread out the branches more, then it might have been better. But that's not the situation we ended up with. I guess the other thing that caused people to sour on the Mao, or on the Hay Show, is that they felt like Project Moon could have done... Was I not doing anything with you? Oh, you can also train with Porcupis. I just didn't put you in the same hallway as everyone else. Train with Porcupis. But yeah, the people were especially disappointed at the complete lack of Lin Dai UID. That was one that people like actually really wanted a lot, and not getting it kind of put people in a bad mood. And it basically just became a whole, hey, are we gonna do anything visually interesting this season? Or is it just gonna be all Hay Show all day? God, I feel like the game has been so... I feel like the lack of 2-star IDs has been felt even now. It was like a desperately needed way to, is there anything else you can do with you guys? Adam could use some attachment work. Do that. Throw him a big bird for a bit. I guess the follow-up question is, would he win? Might reverse the order where I have Adam take the first round and then have Noah here do the second because she's in black resistant armor. These guys need attachment grinding too. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll have it too. May as well get started on that then. Big Bird isn't too scary. So, that is the first thing that was announced in the live stream. The second thing that was announced that had people's attention a bit is, melted. Letitia melted. That's fine. That can just be Max. That sounds like an early season ID. Alright. Green Dawn next. I don't feel like the robots will be too bad of a threat, but gonna keep an eye on that anyways. The second thing that was announced was the return of Refraction Railway. Refraction Railway 1, that is to say. But it does it a bit of a disservice to describe it as only a return to Refraction Railway because it's something that people had been kind of asking for, having railways back as permanent content. Because it is unfortunate that railways go away, so there are players that can miss out on them if they enter later on. And like with all railways, there's going to be a bunch of new prizes, including a ticket to get whatever Season 1 ID you want. In case you're still missing one of those, like me, who's missing Encore Merceau. I guess even if you have every ID up to this point, tickets like that might be useful if you want, like, basically some free shards, ego shards towards a particular sinner if you feel like you need them. And the thing is, the trailer for the Railway 1 return didn't really give much details on how the gameplay was going to work, so that's going to be a complete mystery until further notice. But it was after that, and after that we got the official announcement for the next season, Canto 9, The Unsevering. And Season 9 is going to be Ryoshu's season, and everyone's been very looking forward to that. The new art looks great as always. Oh my god. I actually almost killed Emma earlier. I think because I was literally looking at them and going, wait, what am I even doing with you? I need to do something else with you today. For lack of anything better, Instinct with Queenie. But that's a Black Week card where it might kill them. Weird. Well, while I try and work this out, I'm gonna do my other bits of routine for right now. I can't believe Emma came within an inch of a messy death. That's Lobotomy. Do this so you can work on Porcupus the next day. Queen of Hatred. Do not. Someone remind me again why she's in this facility. Lord. Adam. There you are, Jesus. You sure can get some time. No one can handle Queen of Hatred except maybe Don Quixote. That's just what we've learned here. Speaking of the Heart of Aspiration, might take the chance to, might take the chance to... God, where are my thoughts? Do some instant training with Emma too, just with the wolf. I forget for a second that I have the wolf there for these kind of things. Did no one do her instinct work for the day, for the cycle yet? She did not. I'm gonna do that soon. How far am I from being able to get everything? Boom, boom. Still need a little over 100 for these. Yeah, if I had a ballpark around 120. Probably should have gotten the guns first, all things considered. If I remember correctly, when it came to Jaden Animation's Nuzlocke of Gen 3, the one she had always feared the most was Altaria, because it could basically sweep with so little effort. Winona's Altaria, that is to say. Where is the other person I usually have here at? With a 0.5 Bob, that should be survivable, is what I'm gonna say, because we do need the fortitude training. I vividly remember the reason I picked up Yen specifically is because it could do training for everything in except attachment, which I felt like I had too much of at the time. Yeah, that worked. Do I have time to attachment for these two? Oh no. No. Wrong abnormality. At the very least, exit ray is going to help a lot. I don't think Noah's done her... Oh god. It's a good thing I don't plan on doing this day long, because it is very mixed up right now. Okay, but back what I was saying. When it came to Sinner stories that people were really looking forward to, Ryoshu is one. If it comes down to it, Tatiana can come to the rescue. Oh, she's gonna get lucky this time, now that we're actually watching it. Who worked with Gerfruch? Canelian Diaz, so that means you were left over. Nope, wrong person. And then I'm just gonna keep going with Letitia because I need her. Okay, where? There's none. There's none in. Canelli's doing something probably over in. London can take care of this one. Just punch it to death real quick. Amelia can take care of this one. These scoopers are doing this. They should be able to handle it on their own. Yeah, would like for a Daredevil there, that's fine. Gabriella can smoke this one in a second. The Seahunt can immediately go on that one. Nothing else in Central Command? No, there they are. Although they're probably gonna die in 5 seconds because they stepped into the wrong neighborhood. Like, the worst neighborhood. Okay. What are you two? Red armor. You know what? You two can go on this guy. Then. Lamarcus, you do that. Or no, wait, not Lamarcus. I need Train. They're closer. Green Stem. And I think that's all of them. Run it. Oh, there is one. I would say Tatiana, since you just finished with your previous robot. Easy squeezy. We didn't even drop a Clyfox from Big Bird. Okay, we're almost halfway through the day. A noon should push us over the edge, but... I'm gonna play it by ear. Will I ever get to finish my thought about Ryoshu? Stay tuned for the stunning conclusion. People have been looking forward to a canto for Ryoshu for a couple of reasons. The first is that Ryoshu is perhaps one of the most closed-off sinners by far, which means that it made people want to know what her deal is even more. She got the banner ID, yes, the very first fourth matched flame. Where are you, Emma? And then, the other reason that people wanted to see a Ryoshu Kanto specifically is that she is absolutely loaded in motherhood symbolism. Most effectively represented by how she has gotten so many Spider-Bud stuff. Like, if something Spider-Bud is related happens, Ryoshu has it. No one else. God damn it, Punishing Bird. And of course, for the new art for Ryoshu, the motherhood symbolism continues with some added bridal symbolism thrown in there. The thing to be careful though is that there is some indication that Ryoshu's canto is gonna be very full of suffering. Yes, Ryoshu knows the fingers. Very specifically, Ryoshu seems to have close ties with the ring specifically, because for Ryoshu's attacks in her base ID, they match up pretty closely to the attacks we see from the ring people, or former ring people, we run into during Kanto 6. I'm gonna alternate Prudence and Fortitude for however long. So, needless to say, people are looking forward to the mystery around Ryoshu finally coming off a little. It is kind of funny that for, nope. The train of thought is gone. It is derailed. No survivors. Have you two swap. Playing a bit risky with Noah, but Tatiana is there, and Tatiana has not taken the buff from Night, so they can do work. Unfortunately, I don't think you could pay... yeah, I don't think you could pay Jihoon to ever touch the ring again. Unless he finds some way to keep it under control. There is a very high level of it seemed like a good idea at the time when it comes to ring saying. Like, I don't know what KGH might have been thinking when he put that conditional of just making the ring people reuse their ring saying reuse the coins so freaking much. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, you can do some insight. Adam can do his round a bit after. So, what do you think about that then? About how good it may or may not work? Before we have any further thoughts on that, I did want to get to one of the more controversial parts of the live stream. Because, there's definitely questions to be had about, let's call it acceptable compromise. I'm gonna take a sip before I continue my train of thought. God, my throat gets dry with these. Anyways, so the thing that was announced for during the live stream as well is that apparently there's a plan in place to okay, we're done with everything for Porcupus. There's a plan in place to increase the frequency of Walpurgis to every 2 months. And needless to say, people had thoughts about that. Is that the last one for this section? It is. In that case, I think I usually go Control and Central Command, especially because Central Command just has so many of them. Of course, there were the people that immediately didn't like the idea because they feel it's a bit greedy to just suddenly have this event happen every 2 months. And the way it was specifically phrased is that basically for one Walpurgis, it would be like the actual fan service, hype moments, and aura kind of event, where it would have story segments of Limbus Company reacting to the other players of the Project Blue universe. So that would be one Walpurgis. And 2 months later, we would get one that's closer to the recent one, that's very stripped down. And then 2 months later, another story one. and so on and so forth. That is the plan, at least. Like I was just saying, there are people that dislike the idea because it feels like it's trying to get money from the consumers. The people that defend it say that this is actually a bit friendlier to people, because it means that if you want to skip a wall purge knot, then in theory you can do it and just shard those same IDs 2 months later, if it is a fixed 2 months. To me, it kind of feels like Kim Ji-hoon is trying to find a way to not have so much dead time in a given season, and he's trying out experiments to try and basically give the players something to do and something to roll for or solve. I actually have my own mixed feelings about that, because I actually like that Limbus Company doesn't feel the need to pressure you to log on every day for big events that are going to be gone forever in the next month. I pick up and drop so many gachas because I feel too time constricted to dedicate to gachas because so many things are going on at once. But for Limbus, usually I can just boot it up, do some small stuff, run some floors of Mirror Dungeon, and then log off. And if there's major story content, I can dedicate time to that too. Did all three people do their work with Pokebus already? Yes. What else was in that live stream? Oh right, in a previous live stream, the idea of Red Spin 5 came up, like only for egos, because Kim Ji-hoon has given up on the idea of balancing IDs. We've had that discussion before. But on the subject of balance, it was specifically outlined that it's not going to be every... Oh, Punishing Bird's right there. I saw the empty containment unit and I thought it glitched or something. It has happened before. Like, okay, maybe not a specific glitch like that, but we have had glitches with Punishing Bird. The specific example that Kim Ji-hoon gave was God. Fourth match Flame Me a Song. That's what I was thinking of. That fourth match Flame Me Song is a bit of a disappointing ego, but it's gonna be the first to get a fix-up with Threadspin 5. Like, they're actually gonna prioritize less great egos first. And it's gonna drop in batches. all egos are not gonna get threat spin 5 at once. Like how 4th match Heesing was gonna get fixed up? No specific details on what was gonna be done to fix it up. I guess that's gonna be for later. But yeah, you do get the sense that, you do get a sense that Kim Ji-hoon wants to make the best possible product for Limbus Company that he can. It's just a matter of what's gonna get it there. It's good that Limbus Company is being successful and... Oh wow, I estimated that right. It was around 120. We officially got everything for Lakeisha. Once I stop the stream, off stream, I may see about, off stream, I may see about swapping out some of the melee black weapons for Lakeisha's gun. Because long-range weapons are very good, especially if we run into something like Green Midnight. Lamp boosts black damage, right? Then yeah, it would be good for Lakeisha's gun. Just give them to 4 people and they'd be able to do more chip damage against a Green Midnight, while the melee people can't attack. Blah-blah. Speaking of noons, Jose, your job. I really don't feel like dealing with that noon, so if I can get away with it, I'm just gonna end it before it becomes a problem. Hooray for being mildly lazy. You know, the other day, I actually saw someone put up a hypothetical, basically taking Limbus Company abnormalities and making Lobcore gear out of them. And the example that was shown was White Gossipia, if that's what it's called. Censored as stands no chance against Jose. You were one of the very first, Jose. You've stuck it out for all this time. Proud of you. Okay, let's just now... Let's push to fill up the energy and the vamoose. It was Canelli that did that, so... What does this give? It gives neckwear. A few people got it. Too bad it's not gonna matter after this gets reset, but it's the thought that counts. Maybe next time when we redo this same exact day, the people that got the necklaces now are gonna get it again. The only thing I dislike about the necklace is, Oh no, that's actually not a great necklace. Success rate -6, work speed -6. Bleh. Well, so the cookie crumbles. Emilia, do some repression work. You could use a small boost on that. And that is why I've done my best to avoid Singing Machine up until now. How successful it's been. Like there was a while where it just wouldn't leave me alone. But I managed to shake it off. On the off chance we are forced to push through. Amelia, you're usually not this bad at 3-star. I guess because I did choose repression. If that backfires on me, I'll have no one to blame but myself. I've only killed 2 so far. One more from Sympathy. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's the life's philosophy you gotta adapt around here to survive. It is mildly annoying that this day is effectively going to... Oof. Speaking of trap gifts, Bella got the earrings for the end. Oh well, they super reduce those stats, but in exchange they give you some pretty neat benefits. So maybe not a complete trap. Guess it depends on how you interpret it. They are very snazzy earrings, I will say. The next few works are gonna be with very high yield abnormalities. So if anything's gonna push us over the edge in time, it's gonna be this. The question is, are we going to do it? Very, very close to making it. No, not that. Are we going to fill up all the boxes before we have to deal with the new? I'll do that after I do this routine here. These are all high earners, so they're gonna help a lot. Hey, welcome back. Do work again. Okay, right now we're at 140. So after this, I'm going to dedicate the last few works to that. Tatiana, first and foremost, you do this. That's going to be a max out probably no matter what. Emilia, you are the best of us. You do this. We're so close. Just barely. Okay, so is it only the top departments involved in, or it's every department that's not below these layers down here? So not welfare. So you guys over here. You guys over here. Everyone in this area in an elevator. Everyone in this area in this hallway. Over here. And everyone over here. Over here. I didn't leave anyone in a hallway? No? Or no, not a hallway. Our hallways are fine. Thank you. We were right there, too, is the worst part. That was a bad place for the information one to land. No, pretty sure not until next year. Why do you ask? Oh, that. It's a thing where he's basically making guesses for how he thinks the game is gonna come out. I did see it pop up on the feed. I haven't actually watched the stream because I am streaming, but I do know it exists. Why has the not ended yet? Okay, just needed a second. Well, the bird is at 2 Clythot, so we're done. Okay, what have we got? Bella got some minor boosts. Adam got some boosts. Max got some boosts. Dia needs prudence now, but got a little bit of everything else. Canelli got that boost. It was basically the one stat they needed. And boosts. Needs justice. Not bad. Okay, what is the thing? Nah, we were just talking about you. You again? And Firebird. This is quite the lineup. Should we extract for Plague Doctor or pick from here? Which would leave us with Mr. Green Curry here. Naked Nest, nothing there, and Dream of a Black Swan. Ooh. You know what? I think I might actually take this. And I think this is like one of the most harmless VOVs in terms of breaking out. Naked Nest is an insight trainer, but is risky. And nothing there is an Aleph at a time when we might not want an Aleph. I forgot we could re-extract stuff. I'm gonna take Naked Nest for now. Just because this is a run we're not keeping. We'll extract the weapons, and then it's gonna go into the void. It's been a while since your first encounter with the abnormalities. I should suppose that you have become a bit more familiar with them. Let me ask you this question again. What do you think the abnormalities are? Oh please, you can't still believe that abnormalities are just bizarre alien creatures that appeared all of a sudden, and that we need to isolate them, do you? Abnormalities are not the evil monsters that you read about in old fairy tales. They are not some supernatural gods that descend upon us to judge our sins either. There is an old river that has been flowing at the very bottom of the world for many an age. It is the source of everything, but has been forgotten by mankind. Nobody knew of its existence, but somewhere in the world there are very small gaps or holes. It is through those which the river gently finds itself a stream. Surprise Big Bird cameo! For instance, strange beings would sometimes crawl out of such a gap somewhere in the Black Forest, located in the outskirts. You know, there's actually some very intense arguments about whether abnormalities can occur naturally or they're all manufactured, so to speak. This line causes some discussion, for example. Angela seems to be saying that there is a real Black Forest. It's in the outskirts. So the three birds may have actually existed and their story did happen. Obviously, the amount was simply too insufficient for Lobotomy Corporation's energy needs. Our singularity is not that we produce energy from the abnormalities. Rather, it is the ability to create abnormalities themselves. Their forms were incomplete because they came from a forgotten place. We were scared of them because they were incomplete. It is because of that terror that they have been sealed underground. However, abnormalities are part of the seed. That's what I meant by possibility. The seed is not something that can be made in just a day or be created on its own. We realized that if we wanted to fix a broken system, we couldn't just sit around in a sunny spot waiting for the clouds to part. What should we do after planting the seeds, you ask? We can't control the entire process. We have to leave them to sprout on their own. Aren't we allowed that much hope at least? Oh God, I haven't done the Bina voice in so long. As you find them in quotidian life, fierce fights break out here every day. You've seen this innumerable times, no? With enough time, abnormalities come back to life, no matter how many fragments they're broken into. It's one of the facts that drove Gebra mad. She took far too much time to understand that abnormalities have to be exploited, not ended. Or maybe she simply couldn't free herself from the indignation of her past. Well, that doesn't concern me. The only thing I know is that I will never, ever see what she was before. Nevertheless, I cannot help but be astonished by the potential of ego each time I see her go on a rampage. Extracting ego is one of my multitude of duties. It's only natural that I am drawn to its potential. In fact, there are many weapons that have enormous power in this world, apart from ego. Artifacts from the outskirts and from the ruins, the singularities of the wings, or the rudimentary inventions made in the back streets. If used correctly, they would be weapons that could fare against abnormalities somehow. But giving those weapons to employees that never even learned to fight outside of basic training is as useless as teaching a hatchling to hide. God might throat why. The rabbits are specialized in killing. They can spot the enemy's weakness right away and focus their firepower, given that they have enough munitions, as opposed to our employees, who cannot even wield weapons efficiently. I take offense to that. That seen as combat ability isn't a requirement to be hired here. But our employees don't even have to learn to use ego. The power of the ego grows in conjunction with the heart of the wielder. One knows how to use it the moment they wield it. Nevertheless, even though they wield that power, the majority of the employees can't control it. Swayed by it, they hardly have a chance against the abnormalities. I haven't seen anyone that can draw out the true potential, apart from the red mist. To wield ego is to dress oneself in the shell of the ego of another person. The wielder is merely imitating the borrowed ego, unable to completely make the power their own. Had I known that before being locked up in here, I would have done anything to get my hands on them. If I could, the circumstances may have changed dramatically. Now I'm confined here, issuing orders to extract ego, forbidden from touching them myself. You must have been scared still, even though my hatred and bloodthirst are locked up inside this rusted metal cage. Don't you worry, I no longer have anything left. But you never know. The yearning for blood could wax again, for it is simply sealed, not uprooted. 8 or more Aleph ego. We may actually have that. In fact, I'm going to count. Did I? Shoot. Does this mean I'm stuck on Hakama now? We could always reset if need be, but... oh boy. Okay, one more VOG suit with red endurance and one more. Okay. I got so distracted by that, I forgot to even check the thing I was originally going to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm guessing it also counts armor. Like it's just any Aleph ego. Yep. Then we're fine. So much blood, sweat, and tears that had to be put to accomplish that, but we accomplished it. God, I haven't seen this ugly motherfucker in so long. In fact, before we end the stream, let's look at it again. Up close, because we haven't in a while. It is mostly a little, this blob, but every so often I think green worms pop out. I think. I forget because I haven't seen this thing. Barely off screen. Well, I guess on that note, next time on the left side of reality, I may have gotten stuck on the Hakama path. Oh no! Which may mean very bad things for me in the very near future. Because life isn't fair. See you all next week.